be able to be leaving, okay? He will be leaving to Boston at some point. This decision is never easy. We appreciate him very much.
G'day OWFsquad squad, welcome back to another Thursday trip report. I'm at Chicago O'Hare Terminal 3 and today I'm flying American Airlines from here to Boston. So now let's go and check in first. American Airlines domestic and international flights depart from Chicago O'Hare Terminal 3. For premium passengers, including first class passengers, there's a dedicated priority check-in area. After that I went straight to security. At this particular checkpoint, number 8, there's a priority lane. If you're eligible, your boarding pass would say the word priority on it. So I just cleared security, it was quick and easy. On this side of Terminal 3 you have big and clean windows and you can overlook the tarmac. According to the internet, O'Hare is the 4th busiest airport in 2022, behind Atlanta, Dallas-Fort Worth and London Heathrow. My cousin is trying to look for some free weed. So normally with a first class domestic ticket with American Airlines, you don't get lounge access. American Airlines has 3 Admirals Club and 1 flagship lounge here at O'Hare. With my Qantas Gold status, which is 1 Sapphire, today I have access to all lounges, but I'm going to use the flagship one, which is the best of all. So at this location, they have an Admirals Club and a flagship lounge. If you're eligible for flagship, upon entry at the reception, they'll give you this card.
Thanks. I'll take that from you. Thank you so much. Come on in, guys. Welcome.
Enjoy as well.
Thank you so much. Upon entry into the flagship lounge, you'll see a mini champagne bar and you would be offered a glass of champagne or a glass of mimosa. I'm absolutely in love with this tarmac view. So this lounge is quite sizable. You have a big dining area, which I'll show you more later, and other areas with comfy chairs and sofas. There are several shower suites here, but unfortunately I didn't have enough time to show it to you guys. For me, some of the best elements of this lounge is the abundance of natural lights and great food. They have lots of choices here. It's now breakfast time and they've got a menu here. There's a Japan Airlines flight departing soon and we have plenty of Japanese guests in the lounge right now, and that's why I think they've got sushi here at the moment. There's so many good food here, I can't stop scooping them all. My cousin can't control herself as well. So here's my first plate, more to come. So my cousin is doing her Instagram story. It's gonna be a good picture, like look at all the food, the mimosa, and the American Airlines planes behind. And don't worry, there was no food wasted, we smashed it all. For those who want booze in the morning, you're in for a treat. You can make yourself some cocktails and so many different red wine, white wine, rosé and even champagne. And now I must say, I really love this lounge. American Airlines does have some amazing flagship lounges and I hope the onboard experience can reflect the same. So now it's time to board our flight AA2264 to Boston. Our aircraft today is a 737-800 NG, next generation, not a MAX.
Don't blame you. Don't blame you.
Thank you. Thank you. We just missed priority boarding, so we gotta wait for a bit in the jet bridge.
Morning.
Hi, how's it going?
Yeah,
So welcome on board American Airlines 737 first class. They've got 4 rows here in a 2-2 configuration.
Operation this afternoon to ensure an on-time departure. If you do bring 2 carry-on items, make sure the larger carry-on item is in the overhead compartment. Can go wheels or handles first and then turned on its side, like a book. If you do need a visual diagram, there's one in the overhead compartment, or you can ask a flight attendant. We'd be more than happy to help you complimentary check your bags to your final destination.
Once seated, the cabin crew gave us welcome drinks. I got a glass of water and my cousin got champagne, and he even offered more later.
From Chicago to Boston, our flying time will be a quick 1 hour and 43 minutes at an altitude of 29,000 feet. The Boston weather conditions are partly cloudy with a temperature of 68 degrees Fahrenheit, 20 degrees Celsius. Your safety is very important to us. Please pause for a moment to give your attention to the flight attendants.
Figure out how they can get that weight off the airplane so we can actually take out the plane at Boston. We get an update on that one.
So there's some weight problems on our aircraft, so there's a slight delay. I'll go through the seat features now. No coat hook. There's no TV here, but rather there's a device holder for your phone or iPads. There's a slim space here for your in-flight reading materials. For your convenience, there's a USB port. An empty seat pocket here for your own personal item. You have a cocktail table here if you've got too many drinks with you. Inside this armrest, you'll find your tray table. Pull up the tiny latch and your tray table will come up gradually. On the tray table, you have a flap for your device as well. You can of course open your tray table, doubling the size when you need to place a laptop or when you need to eat. Despite the rather clean carpet and clean seat covers, the tray table and the area where the tray table is stored away needed more cleaning attention. On the other armrest, you can place your arm, your drinks. There's also space for your own storage, and it's relatively sizable as well. My Bose headphone case fits perfectly fine. And if you want easier access to your stuff, you can lift up the armrest. And inside also you'll find a universal power socket. Every seat here in first class comes with a headrest. It's adjustable and it's quite soft. That's probably the root problem of the weight problem. We have one extra guest flying with us. Unfortunately, the delay lasted a bit longer than we all hoped for, but thankfully our very kind flight attendant came back to offer us more drinks. This time I went for orange juice and my cousin champagne again. And now they're offloading one unlucky passenger.
Or else we wouldn't be able to be leaving, okay? He will be leaving to Boston at some point. This decision is never easy. We appreciate him very much.
And now we push back about 40 minutes behind schedule.
we are offering a selection of complimentary beverages with an accompaniment. You may also purchase alcoholic beverages using a debit or credit card. As we prepare for the onboard service, you may begin using approved electronic devices. Wi-Fi and free entertainment are available on today's flight. Connect to the AA in-flight signal on your device to watch free movies and TV shows or to purchase Wi-Fi. As a reminder, headphones must be worn when listening to entertainment. While you are seated, please keep your seatbelt fastened and visible to the crew, even when the seatbelt sign is off, as turbulence can happen unexpectedly. When the seatbelt sign is off, you are free to move about the cabin. However, we request that you do not congregate in groups in any areas, especially around the galleys and lavatories. If you open an overhead compartment, use caution as carry-on items may have shifted during takeoff. Enjoy your flight. We're ready to serve you as soon as we're not experiencing turbulence. Thank you.
On this American domestic flight, you have half an hour free internet access per device. So let's say you've got an iPhone and an iPad, you've got an hour of free Wi-Fi. However, without the internet access, you can still stream movies and TV shows free of charge. Also on this flight, using the Wi-Fi, you can stream Apple Music free of charge. Our gorgeous crew is now approaching every first class passenger to apologize for the delay and give us snacks. So he'll leave the basket between every 2 passengers. He told us to get as many as we want and then get our drink orders, and then he would go to the galley to make our drinks. And unfortunately, that is all the food we've got on board today. A full bar service is still available, however. So from the basket, I just got a bunch of cookies to dunk it with my tea. And it's funny, I overheard the crew telling one of the passengers that the first class meal on this flight is pitiful. Without me even asking, the crew came back to give me a second cup. The very attentive and great service really made up for the delay. Not for that passenger who got kicked off though. Our crew today is an absolute legend. He's definitely one of the best crew I've ever had. Not only is his service attentive and great, he also had a chat with every passenger. He told my cousin and I how he loves his job and it was his pleasure to serve us today. And when I told him I live in Australia, he said Qantas is way better. Welcome on board American 737 first class lavatory behind the cockpit. Nothing too special here. You got hand soap, you got hand tissue, facial tissue, the toilet itself. We're about to start our descent into Boston and the crew decided to give me another tea. In a mug, I'll have it quick. Okay, thank you. And I just discovered another cocktail table. With this cabin crew, you'll need them all. Thank you.
To be stowed away at this time. The flight attendants will be coming through the aisle to collect any remaining service items that you may have. We'll be landing soon.
We've now started our descent into Boston Logan Airport, so let's quickly conclude this trip report with American Airlines 737 right here, right now. Our journey today starts at O'Hare Terminal 3. From check-in to security and into the lounge, it was a smooth process. My cousin and I absolutely loved the Flagship lounge. Amazing food, amazing service, and great tarmac view. It's the kind of lounge that I would go hours early for. And then moving on board, once I settled down at my seat 4A, the crew gave us welcome drinks, and because of the delay, he decided to give us even more. Service from this particular cabin crew was amazing, very attentive, and great smile. Throughout the flight, he walked up and down the aisle countless of times to refill drinks and chat with the customers. And you can tell he's really passionate about his job. It was a bit disappointing that there was no hot meal service on this flight. Hopefully American Airlines would bring them back soon. At the moment, American Airlines only do hot meal service for flights over 900 miles by distance. Our flight to Boston is 864 miles, so we were just so close to getting a full meal. Last, I want to talk about the seat. Obviously, it's wider and more legroom than those in economy, and we actually got one of the newer 737 first class seats, which is part of the 737 Oasis project. And unfortunately, I think I prefer the older ones, which were a bit thicker and have greater back support. So comfort wise, I definitely prefer the older one, but for storage and your power access, the newer one is definitely better. Now for your information, if you were to book American Airlines first class from Chicago to Boston, you're looking to pay around $268. So guys, thank you so much for watching today's trip report. I really hope that you enjoyed this one. If you're new to my channel, I upload a new trip report like this one every Thursday, 12 PM Hong Kong time. In Chicago, that's every Wednesday, 11 PM. For Boston, that's 12 AM Thursday. So if you haven't subscribed, please make sure that you've clicked that subscribe and bell button, so every time when I upload, you'll get notified right away so you're not missing out. You can keep up to date with me on my social media platforms, Snapchat, Instagram, Facebook, and I recently started Be Real. And for those who want to help me further with funding my flights, you can do so via PayPal, which is a one-off payment. You can do it anytime you want, or subscribe to my Patreon, which charges you monthly or annually. So again, thank you so much for watching. Now please enjoy the approach and landing into Boston Logan, and then after that enjoy a Boston vlog. See you there and next Thursday. Bye.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's our pleasure to be the first to welcome you to Boston, Massachusetts, where the local time is 3:50 p.m. Please remain seated with your seatbelt fastened until the seatbelt sign is turned off, and keep the aisles clear of all carry-on items. Take a moment to check your seat back pocket for any personal items like tablets and cell phones. Be careful when opening the overhead compartments as items may have moved in flight. If you're not already doing so, you may now use your cell phone. On behalf of American Airlines, all of our One World partners, and your entire Boston-based flight crew, we appreciate you flying with American Airlines today. We hope you enjoy your stay here in Boston or wherever your final travels may take you. Today we will be arriving at Terminal B. Once again, that's Terminal B as in Bravo, Gate B9. If you have any bags to claim here in Boston, your baggage claim will be number 2. Once again, that's baggage claim number 2. Welcome to Boston. Passengers on this flight with a tight connection. If Boston is your final destination and you are home, if you don't mind just maybe remaining seated or letting those few passengers go ahead of you just so we can make sure they make their connection. We like to make sure everyone gets to their final destination safely. You got it? Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you.
You're amazing.
Oh, thank you. You are too.
So this time in Boston, we're staying at the Hilton Garden Inn at Logan Airport. It's cheaper than staying in downtown, and the airport itself is not too far from downtown, so we decided to stay here. A hotel video on this will be coming soon. So we just checked into our hotel, now we're gonna go to downtown by train. The station staff is so kind. He noticed that we're tourists, so he decided to give us some Boston recommendations. And he opened a gate for us for free, so we didn't have to pay for this ride.
I 諗我哋普通喺 Chicago 嗰間咁嘅餐廳都100。For the vlog.
Yes, sir. I don't know why, but this scene just looks so America.
Places in town, I know where the good bad movies are. There's a fun there, you son of a bitch. Hashtag croutons.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Boston. For your safety, please remain seated with your seatbelt fastened and your cabin baggage stowed until the seatbelt sign has been turned off.